Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of your internet's the Gaming Saloon reviews for August 16, 2026 with Joe Space Maker 2448 and Ramp It Up Salon. Oh no.
Hi, there we go.
It's more Gundam.
Yay.
We get the plot for one episode and then it's
Back to status quo.
Basically. And because of how we're doing this, it's episodes 6 through 9. So the meme number.
Yeah. Didn't even think about that one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's more Gundam. I would say, are you excited? But we talked about that on the pre-show.
I'm just kind of indifferent to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not against it, but I'm just not bought in kind of deal with it for whatever reason.
It doesn't help that it's not giving us a whole lot to buy in on.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts before we hit the recap?
No.
All right, so episode 6, Fight Domon, Earth is the Ring. So Domon's head back to Kyoto in Neo Japan, for whatever reasons. But then he gets whammied waiting on rain by some random monk dude. And he basically gets to be whammied the entire episode and hallucinate a thing he was not there for to give him trauma on top of his existing trauma. Because now we get the plot. And the plot is basically the guy in the photograph is his brother Kyoji. And Kyoji and Domon's dad went and made a Gundam that, as they say in the show, self-heals, self-replicates, and self-evolves. Question.
Okay.
Why?
Reasons.
Also, why is it like half a Gundam bolted onto a big slug thing?
Yeah, that's probably the bigger question.
Because it's like half a Gundam body stuck onto like a big neck thing that is then bolted onto a big slug thing. Like why? Why? But anyway, they did this, and then the police showed up being like, yo, you're doing an illegal Gundam thing and you're going to go do crime with it. And Domon's dad's like, that's preposterous. We're not doing crime. And Kyoji goes, correct. I'm doing crime. I'm going now. And in the process, Domon's mom gets shot and murked by the cops because, of course, she does. Kyoji runs off with the Gundam and blows up a whole bunch of people, including Domon's boss, who survived, but now he has like half a metal mask because scars or something. And Domon's dad is now in like cryo freeze for an eternity because he helped. So fuck him. And Domon lives all this, even though he was out of town training with his master, Master Asia. Yes, that is his real last name.
I literally, when he said that, I was like, really?
Yes.
We had to do that.
Yeah. Look, next episode has a Gundam called the Tequila Gundam that they didn't localize as Spike Gundam. That is just this show in general. Anyway, also, the bad Gundam that Kyoji's piling was initially called the Devil Gundam, but now it's just called the Dark Gundam because we can't have it called the Devil Gundam in the dub. If it hasn't been on the nose already. But anyway, Domon lives all this. Rain is like partially tagging along for all of this, probably because this is your job. Suck it up. But like one military guy wants Domon off the job of being Neo Japan's fighter. But the rest of them are like, hey, this will prove you wrong. So they have him fighting some random not Gundam that is Domon sees as the Devil Gundam. He's having a rough time of it until Rain hops in with like the ship thing, the Shining like travels around in to like snap him out of it and nearly die, except not really. I don't think she was really in that much trouble. It feels like that was the plan. But yeah, this snaps Domon out of it, kind of. He goes into basically his super mode, which is just him going gold and going, I have a sword made of energy now, fuck you, die. So he blows up the Not Gundam and he's like, all right, I'm going to go back to Earth and go back to fighting stuff. Bye. And then that's the episode. Which takes us to episode 7. Prepare to fight, Disparate Fugitive. We're introduced to two characters, Chico and Gina of Neo Mexico. Chico is the fighter who's been on the run, not fighting because he doesn't want to fight. He just wanted an excuse to get to Earth with Gina so they can just go fishing or something. Unfortunately, Gina has a plot sickness. Did they specify it?
No, just something from the colonies.
Yep, plot sickness from the colonies that she has to go back to the colonies to go fix. Michiko doesn't want to go back, so Domon fights him. And the Tequila Gundam, yes, it's called the Tequila Gundam. Also, as a quick bit of trivia, for a fancy little G Gundam Blu-ray set they put out, they gave you a shot glass with the Tequila Gundam on it. But yeah, Domon fights this guy. Also, Chibity is here because Domon fights him, goes for the cockpit. It's kind of, but not really. He kind of gets the Gundam blown up, so like the two of them can go back to the colony without like being hassled because the Gundam fighter's dead. Totally, 100%. I did murder him. Absolutely. and Chibity's like, okay, cool. I guess we're not fighting. Bye. And then Domon heads off, and then Chico and Gina go to the colony, and Gina, I guess, will get healed or something. But that's basically the episode. As you can imagine, there's not a whole lot there, since we are back to the status quo. Only now featuring one of the 5 other fighters from before just hanging out.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this first half?
I mean, we got plot. And then we didn't. I liked where we actually, kind of dove into his backstory. I feel like that should have been the second or third episode.
Yeah. Honestly, it could have been the second episode because we would have had the first episode with Domon. Like, it would have introduced the Gundam fight itself. And then that is the second episode introducing why Domon's here.
And then we could have went on with the status quo.
Yeah, and it could have just been like positioned as a flashback instead of randomly Domon's back on the colony to do this whole bit, and then he's back on Earth.
Because we need him there.
Yeah. And then our Tequila Gundam stuff is just like, oh yeah, Domon goes fight somebody, he wins, technically. So hey, I think he's back to a fully winning record now. But any other thoughts?
No.
All right, episode 8, Old Grudge, Revenge of the Space Police. So sometime in the past, a guy and his wife are just doing their job on like a police station, or just a space station that gets rammed into by a pirate ship. Not a literal pirate ship, mind you, just a pirate ship. Guy's wife dies, and that leads us to the present where Domon and Rain are visiting Niagara Falls. And Domon doesn't want to do sightseeing, even though Rain's like, hey, maybe you should chill out a little bit so you don't like cause a scene, which she has a point.
Yeah, but he's going to cause a scene anyhow.
Yep, because Neo Canada's fighter comes up and is like, you're Domon, right? You want to go fight? And he's like, yes. And then they fight for a bit, but he's just like, look, or no, they don't fight. He's just like, I want your information on the Bolt Gundam because I desire to murder that man. And Domon's like, but I'm here. I want to fight you. Why won't you fight me? And he's like, I don't want to fight you. Fuck off. Either give me the shit or fuck off. And eventually he just like chucks Domon into the falls, takes Rain to be like, I'm taking her until you give me information or he shows up. Bye.
Yep.
Look,
the problem I have with that whole thing there is the fact that Domon initiated that while the entire time he was like, I don't want to fight you right now.
Yeah.
Which makes our main character then look like the biggest dick around.
I mean, let's be honest. How many times has Domon been the one to show up being like, you fight me now?
Yeah, but everyone else has always been like, yes, I will fight you. This is, you fight me now. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
No, I want to fight the Russian guy. I don't want to fight you. Piss off. You are not Russian, man. Go away.
I saw that and I'm like, what? Wow. Good way to, just take your main character and drag him through the mud real quick there, show. Because I get it. He is battle hungry.
For a lot of reasons.
Completely get it. But that might be a little bit too far there.
Like, there's a reason Rain is taking him to Niagara Falls and going, look at the water, chill the fuck out. The only reason you're not dead is me. Maybe chill. Because I'm pretty sure Domon would be dead by now.
Yes.
Anyway, Argo's here, and then Domon shows up being like, hi, Argo, you want to fight? Like, not in Gundams. I just want to fight you, period. Just to, like, talk. It's like Domon cannot show up here just to have a conversation because, hey, this guy that hates you kidnapped my not partner at the moment because we're arguing. you want to help me do something about this? Just no, fight you. Gonna be a dick about this.
Uh-huh. Like, that is his character the entire episode.
Which feels really weird as someone playing like two different Super Robot Wars, or as to play two different Super Robot Wars games with G Gundam in it. And this is not the Domon I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing a far more chilled out, like mentoring Domon. Instead of, man needs someone to knock him some sense into his fucking head before he like dies. It gets somebody killed in the process. But yeah, eventually Argo's like, oh, I'm gonna go deal with this guy. Fuck off, bye. More or less, we find out that Argo, to our Neo Canada pilot, looked like Argo yeeted his wife out of the crashed space station because fuck you, but instead it turns out he tried to save her but couldn't. Which, like, I just kind of sit there and went, it's going to turn out he tried to save her but didn't. Or he did save her and she just, like, died some point later and no one told him. It turns out to be the former.
Yeah, it could have been either, though.
But yeah, Domon fights or Argo and him fight for a bit. Domon intervenes to make it like a three-way-ish. The Canada Gundam gets beaten up for a bit, ends up kind of like almost falling off a cliff that breaks. Argo saves it because Also, Rain's been in the Grizzly Gundam for a little bit to try to get like talk some sense of this guy, and that doesn't work.
Because when does that ever work with him?
Yeah, they're all a bit thick. But yeah, we reach a conclusion. The guy's like wrestling with the fact of, oh, he didn't kill my wife. My wife died from basically an accident. Fuck, what do I do now? It's the entire reason I'm here. And Domon and Ring make up and they leave, which leads us to our last episode, episode 9, Powerful Enemy, Chapman's Heroic Challenge. We are off to London with Neo Europe's fighter that George is currently fighting in a massive fog because Neo Europe's fighter is using that in a bunch of decoy drone, not Gundams, basically, to fuck with his opponents until he can, like, murk them. Fortunately for George, he doesn't murk him. Also, Domon shows up here. Knows of Chapman, who's our fighter, who's apparently a 3-time champ of these fights. But as we find out later, is so damaged from the fights, he has to take mental stimulants to, like, not to see straight. Which, that sounds like a lot of head trauma, I would think. Maybe.
It also sounds like it should be illegal, but...
Especially with as many supplements as we've seen him take over the course of the entire episode. Like, at one point, man is just throwing them down his throat like they're M&Ms. Like, you've probably overdosed at this point. But Domon shows up, challenges the man to poker to be like, hey, have you seen this guy? Look at this photograph. And he's like, I ain't telling you shit. And he's like, I bet you will if I win against you in poker. Of course, Chapman's cheating because the dealer's dealing him correct cards. That almost gets him and an arriving Rain shot. But Chapman's like, nah, you're fine. You can hang out until your fight. Domon gets to be like upset that they're not fighting immediately for like the entire episode. Rain does investigate, but she gets knocked out and has to hang out with Chapman's wife for the episode until the fight's over because Domon Dobon kind of sees through it. George also helps out. Chapman does have him in a corner until he just like conks out from the drugs. And it's just like, well, I'm done. Take it. And Dobon does. And I guess Chapman's done for the show, considering where we leave him. Like he is done out of like everybody so far.
I think he actually might be dead.
That too. Yeah, that's the episode. Also, I think this is supposed to like parallel Delmon and Rain and being like, for Chapman's wife to just go, "Hey, Rain, this is what it looks like to be the wife to a Gundam fighter. If you ever feel like you have feelings for Domon, this is your future." And I go, she's not wrong for a lot of reasons, but we'll get there eventually, maybe. But that's our back end of episodes. I'd say thoughts, but there's not a whole lot here.
Not really, no.
Like our third episode here is just, hey, here's a little bit for Argo that makes you want to think something about him. But since we knew before this that the entire reason he is Neo-Russia's fighter and in prison is because he's got a deal to like win and get his crew off the hook. So like, I don't think he would have murked some rando lady in the middle of space. And our last episode is like, well, here's a little parallel for Domon and Rain, and it would help a little bit more if Domon stopped being so much of a dick.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit more between the two of them, because right now it's just Rain is barely keeping Domon alive through all of his efforts to not be alive. Because he might be a little suicidal over this entire situation.
Just a little.
It's probably more than a little, but like, I feel like somewhere in Domon, he's got a death wish. He's like, if I find Kyoji, I'm going out with him. Because I can't deal with this. Because, like, my mom is dead. My dad's basically dead. Kyoji's responsible. My brother's basically responsible for all of this. I'm the last sane person standing. I'm going to go out swinging. Like, I
Except
appreciate...
for he's not really the last sane person standing, just saying.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate Chibity, Argo, and George being here and playing a role. But also, Chibity has nothing to do with the episode. George basically has nothing to do with the episode. And the third episode in this lot pertaining to that is actually more about Argo, but not really. It's like the barest amount of stuff for him. He doesn't even change. He's just like, yeah, I tried to save her and I didn't. Did no one tell you that? Also, I just took an eternity to save you because off that cliff because I didn't want the cliff to collapse further. So, what? Why do you think I'm the bad guy, even though I'm like a 7 foot tall, wide brick shit house of a man who looks like he could just snap you in half if he wants to? Yeah, that's G Gundam for the week. Hopefully more well, we get one more episode like this because I watched the episode preview for 10. Guess what the episode is?
What?
Domon's off to Egypt to fight Egypt's fighter, and Sai Chi's there. I don't know past that point, but oh look, it's the one person who hasn't gotten a return episode yet. Maybe there'll be plot in the other 3.
Probably not.
Yeah. I almost want to equate this to like the early start of some of the really slow writer shows we've watched.
Yeah.
Because it has that monster of the week, in this case, fighter of the week mentality. Because it's just, hey, Domon goes somewhere. He fights someone. There may or may not be plot relevance. Because, like, bear in mind, we get nothing on Kyoji in those 3 episodes. Even though Domon is explicitly asking people about him. Nothing, and nothing. The only reason he was at the other 5 was because those were the most likely places they thought Kyoji would have fucked off to after he landed on Earth. Which makes me just go, okay, where is he then? I don't think you can hide this big fuck off slug Gundam just anywhere.
I mean, sure you can.
Especially when it's like, yeah, no, it would take a year for the Gundam to recover from, crash landing on Earth, which would be right now for the Gundam fight. And no one has seen the big fuck off Gundam. Honestly, I feel like that's what Domon should be asking. Instead of asking, hey, have you seen this guy? Instead of he should be asking, hey, have you seen this big slug looking fuck off Gundam?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
it definitely feels like he probably should be asking a different question than look at this photograph.
Yeah, it's like, have you seen a strange Gundam that doesn't seem to belong to anyone that may or may not be doing bad things? No? Okay, we're leaving. Him seeing like, hey, have you seen this man? Like, I don't know if anyone, I don't think he would even walk out of the Gundam at this point. He probably would just stay in there, just go rampage somewhere. Which I think you would have heard about by now. Which
Yeah.
Which I think is like the scarier thought of, okay, year later, this big, terrifying Gundam should be rampaging in silence. Like, well, where is it? What do you mean no one's seen it? How? You can't miss this.
But apparently you can.
Yep, it's got optical camouflage. No one told anyone that. Yeah, I guess any other thoughts?
No.
All right, in 2 weeks we'll be back with more G Gundam. Hopefully more plot. But between now and then, Thursday, more Sparks of Hope as I try not to get distracted for an hour doing side quests on the planet I'm currently on. Yeah, that unfortunately keeps happening because it's like, oh, hey, yeah, no, just go over here and do this little thing. And you get a little planet coin that you can go and get weapon skins and like upgrade stuff and all that. And I'm like, Granted, I also, I beat a giant enemy this week, which unlocks a 4th skill tree. And damn. I looked at that stuff and I'm like, this is some busted stuff I have just unlocked for Martin of all people. Like, I have to look it up real quick. But yeah, so it's a skill tree specifically for your sparks. So this happens regardless of the spark that you have, which is where they've put all the elemental stuff from the first game. Is now you can equip a spark and it will either do, your shots will do elemental damage, or your slice will do elemental damage for a turn, amongst a range of other abilities. So one of them is, at the first turn, a spark has 25% chance to gift a random item. Another one, after activation, each spark has a 35% chance to avoid the cooldown, meaning you could just immediately activate them again next turn. Spark has 30% chance to save a hero from a death blow. And then when used, each spark has a 25% chance of granting a new action point, i.e. you just used the spark for free. Or you just did a thing and you just got it for free. I'm like, these are some busted things. Like, yeah, those are low percentages to happen, but I'm like, that is still a chance of you doing it. Like, that is, ooh, that gives me a reason to go chase down these big giant enemies. But yeah, that's Thursday. Friday will be 1080 and Fantasy Star Card Battler. That's not the name of it, but it might as well be.
I keep forgetting that too.
Mm-hmm. Saturday Splatfest, maybe? Or
Yeah,
maybe?
I think we might do that.
Okay. We'll be doing the Splatfest. And then next Sunday will be TGS. We will talk about, I guess, KH4. As much as when Devil Spidey asked me, how you feel about KH4 and that TV show? And I'm like, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I could not give a shit. I really do not care where Kingdom Hearts is right now, but that is a very me. That is nothing to say about what Kingdom Hearts is right now. I just am not invested. And in 2 weeks, we'll be back with this. We might do the new Fortnite season on the Sundays for pre-shows, either this week or next week. We'll see. But oh, also, in case anyone's noticed, the archive's done. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be when current stuff goes out. Monday will be Thursday stream and Friday streams at 9 and 3. Tuesday will be Saturday and Sunday streams at 9 and 3 respectively. So if you're wondering where's the stuff at, that's the days and times going forward. That also lets things slide about if we have to delay it or anything like that. Reactions will go up immediately afterwards as an exception. But though that's probably not happening until like we get like another full direct, more than likely. Which will probably not be this year. Not at this rate.
True.
So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube chat gets you that YouTube archive where this and all our other streams are. Exclamation point social and chat gets you handles for our social medias, so you know we'll go live. Exclamation point Discord chat. This link. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you Thursday, folks.